Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your reading. All right, so the only intro that I am giving is that if you were drawn here, there is a message here for you. To be patient because the messages tend to change. Not always, but as the cards come out and as we're clarifying, a whole different message could come out. So I trust that your spirit guides will nudge you if you're needing to stay or stick around. I just kind of leading with that, but I'm going to pull one oracle card and then we're going to get on into your tarot cards. And this is for Gemini. Wow. Commitment. So it's kind of giving me the Chariot vibe as well, because we've got a black and white bird here, but they are tying the knot and we have commitment. So let's get to your cards. For Gemini. Heart of your reading is the Four of Swords. Wow, Six of Swords. Sixes are great in tarot. They bring in that balance. Let's get the past. Nine of Wands, so wounded warrior. You can see all of her scars. And let's get the current situation. Empress. Beautiful. Let's get the future. Alright, Ten of Wands did want to come out in reverse, so I'm going to go ahead with it that way. What do we have under here? Three of Swords. Ten of Wands is about dropping that heavy burden. Three of Swords is healing from pain and sorrow. So we're not quite healed yet. I mean, your heart of your reading is Four of Swords. This is that recuperating time where we're healing and we're taking that rest that what we need. And the past is the Wounded Warrior card. We are in the energy of wanting to move to calmer waters and take care of ourselves here. You know, self-care, all of that with the Empress. So let's go ahead and get the advice and then we're going to clarify. the advice? All right, I'm not sure. If it's the advice, I'm assuming it's wanting to be in the upright position. I don't know which way I picked it up here. So the Nine of Swords, it's under the deck. Okay. So the underlying feeling is maybe insomnia, feeling not having a resolution, or so we're worrying about all of the, well, what if this happens and what if that happens sort of feeling. The advice is, you know, the Hermit's coming up a lot lately because we are in Virgo season. This is talking about going within, doing that soul searching and finding our power in the situation. There's a delay here in dropping this heavy burden, and I feel like that has something to do with commitment. You know, this is our responsibilities. Everything is on our shoulders. You know, all of our commitments, our responsibilities, all of that is here. And with this coming like that, it's feeling like there could be a delay, but you are doing all the right steps. You're in the right energy of wanting to move forward. You are taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself. You're getting the rest you need, and healing your wounded warrior. However, we do have this over here, which is excessively worrying and having anxiety because we don't know what the next move is, or we don't have a solution. So I don't know if that's, you're doing that because you're not able to, this commitment, you're still, like, there's a delay. You're not able to drop this commitment yet. I'm going to clarify this just because this did seem like it was going in reverse, and with this being the, in the position of the spread for the advice, you're either dealing with a Virgo, and that has something to do with your advice, or now we do have Six of Cups, which was under that. So the Six of Cups talks about a balanced heart chakra. Like once you get to that healing, the Six of Cups is emotional balance and emotional like a healthy spot there where we are happy and content. It also talks about nostalgia, child, you know, healing your inner child and all of those things. So possibly, you know, that was some of the wounds that have carried on into adulthood, and we need to, you know, go in and do that soul searching. I do want to get another card for the Hermit here, another advice card, and then I'm going to clarify with another deck. Tell me about this Hermit. Five of Cups. And then Eight of Swords. So this is similar feeling. Feeling like you can't, like, no matter what way you choose to go, it's gonna fail, or I can't get myself out of the situation. You feel stuck. It's a mental imprisonment where we're overanalyzing stuff. So I feel like we're stuck in the past with that being under there, and then getting the Five of Cups. the Hermit mode maybe was supposed to come out in reverse, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And the Five of Cups, like if we're stuck in the past and we're kind of on our own island here, then we're not really committing to the situation and being present in the moment. We're more, you know, in hermit mode, which sometimes that can be negatively aspected. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that how it was supposed to be. And that's why there's a delay here. Because sometimes you can be in hermit mode too long, where you're not necessarily getting more information. You're just over here and here in these two energies of analyzing and feeling there's no way out and you're not sure what to do, so you're not really going to do anything, and just lingering there in the past. So the advice I feel like is, when we get the Five of Cups, we're always, you know, it's crying over spilled milk card in a sense. We are focused on these flowers that have fallen in the water, or the cups that have fallen over, and we don't realize we've got two right over here that haven't fallen off, that haven't, you know, there's still options and possibilities and great things, but we're so focused on this loss that we lost instead of over here being positive. So it's like glass half full, glass half empty, glass half full type of thing. So I think you need to pull yourself out of it and realize what you do still have, and stay committed to that. We'll kind of, let's see where this takes us. What do I want to clarify with? I feel like this hermit mode is being more, instead of like doing that soul searching and trying to find the answers that we need to find, we've turned that to, now we're just kind of in this unhealthy cycle, this loop of maybe in a negative sense, or anxiety, worrying. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clarify each column. So let me get one card over here for this first column. Those kind of clunked out, but let's see what they are. Ooh. The Death card and the Eight of Wands. So something that it needs to come to an end so that movement can start happening. Yeah, I feel like there's for some of you, this literally could be the wound that you're facing here. This was about a mother figure that has passed away, and you are trying to heal from that, but it has, you know, been a heavy burden and keeping you up at night, things like that. You know, with the Death card, and we're needing to kind of have some movement and not get too sucked into the hermit mode, because this is about grief and loss. I mean, grieving someone is healthy, and you know, we need to, but I feel like this is saying don't do it alone. The burden You're not going to be able to drop the heavy burden if you're trying to heal this on your own. It's interesting because the Six of Swords in this deck, she's by herself in the ship, which she's actually floating on clouds here, pulled up the anchor, but usually she is with somebody. Like there's a man rowing and she's not alone. And in this, you are alone. You're not really getting out of bed. You're, you know, the Empress would be mother figure. We've got the Death card. And the arrows of love, like, you know, maybe there's communication, like she's coming to you in a dream. Maybe you're finding feathers. You know, we've got the birds. We've got feathers here. So for those of you who have recently lost a mother figure, my deepest condolences. But you don't have to do this alone. This talks about arrows of love, so that can be her sending you this message, but it can also talk about movement as well, getting yourself communicating, and not doing this by yourself. All right. Let me go ahead and clarify this middle. What was that one? Oh, wow. Under the deck, I hadn't looked at it, is the Ace of Swords. So having that clarity. And then we have another like white bird. So if you're seeing white feathers, that's your mom. And it might be a soulmate as well. If some of you, because the commitment is bringing me to like a soulmate tie, a connection, that even though the person is no longer here, that they are still with you. So we have the Hangman here too. Another like where it's like something is, you know, like holding time still, as far as like the Ten of Wands. There's a delay in being able to drop that burden, and then the Hangman is also about a delay, but it's more of it can be a self-sacrificing energy where you're trying to do the right thing, maybe not put your burden on other people, so to speak, but it is also about getting a different perspective. Under the deck we have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is the home card. It's the four pillars, the 1111. So this could have been a soulmate connection, and still is. They're just not here in the physical world. The home card also still could be a mother. This is the marriage card, the 1111 card. The four pillars represent stability. And this is also a card of celebration. Like maybe there is a holdup on the celebration of life. Maybe there hasn't been a funeral. Maybe that's what the delay is, that there hasn't been, or there will, because this is the future position of a delay on dropping that heavy burden. You don't have to plan this and do this alone. The dragonflies are here. Like this is definitely a beautiful energy of someone trying to get a message through you. You don't have to do this. You don't have to self-sacrifice. You don't have to do this on your own. But I'm going to keep going and see where we land with this. The other thing too is that tens are the, you know, the reason you're able to drop the heavy burden is because you're at the 10 and then you start over, or, you know, you've completed it. But maybe this is also you know, look at all these flowers. You know, when we have a celebration of life, we have flowers. I haven't even used this deck, actually. This one that I pulled out for you guys. I was feeling like I needed to do this deck for this specific reading that I was preparing when I was preparing for your reading. So I was using more of this deck, the traditional. However, with this, you know, there's all these flowers. I feel like, you know, you might even be feeling like, if I have this celebration of life, if I do this, then it will become real, or then that will be an ending, or if something's final. And so by not having it, it's like it didn't happen. However, I feel like you'll maybe gain a different perspective and realize that it is healing. That you'll always be family, and that it is a celebration, that's what the person would want, is a, you know, a celebration of life, remembering them for how they were in the good and the strong times, all of that. I'm going to go ahead and clarify this column. Hermit mode. The Hermit. So what do we have under the deck? And then the Four of Swords again. So we got the Hermit and the Four of Swords twice. So that is about healing. The Four of Swords is that taking the time to heal. Taking the time to heal. So I am going to turn this one over because we got it again in taking the time to heal and grieve. And maybe this is what's under here? The Four of Cups. There's that Ace of Swords again. Maybe someone's even offered to help and you don't want the offer. Like, you see it, but and then if you are getting feathers, maybe that's a message, you know, saying you don't have to do this alone. There's definitely a soul tie. Maybe some insomnia. A lot of pain and healing that's being done, like a healing from a lot of pain and grief and sorrow, and a heavy burden. You feel like it's all on your shoulders. I'm going to go with this. I haven't done this deck yet either, and I haven't pulled another oracle card for the other ones. I'm just trying. I mean, I feel like this is like I don't know, just what I'm being pulled to for any last messages or words of comfort that need to come through. Opportunity. There's a feather here. Expand your horizons. And this talks about getting a different perspective. There's definitely a lot of like air energy up here with the birds and the feathers. That's a lot of feel like, yeah, you've got to look at something in a different light. And then under the deck we have direction. Where are you heading? Question mark. Well, I will say this is an interesting reading where I usually don't do readings like this unless it is like a private reading that I'm doing for someone. I'm trying to see if there's a different way to read this, but it's definitely talking about going within. Expanding the horizons and having this different perspective might be the key to dropping that heavy burden, whatever that is for you. And then we have direction, which that was under the deck. It says, where are you heading? And that's usually what, you know, we're kind of asking ourselves when we go into hermit mode, is what is my power in this situation? Doing that soul searching, finding out where we are wanting to go. So this is almost like ask yourself the question, you know, what direction do you want to go? Where are you wanting to head? And maybe this is expanding your horizons is, you know, I'm almost getting the feeling of, you know, she's pulled up anchor. Like maybe a move will help. I mean, this talks about movement. We had the 4 pillars, you know, the 4 of Wands under the deck here. Before I pulled another card to where that was, it can represent your house, you know, the 4 pillars. It represents your home life, your marriage, things like that. Maybe this is I'm trying to clarify. Okay, so the delay is not only to gain that different perspective and to do your soul searching and figure out where you're wanting to head, whether you're trying to completely like change directions, whether it is physically like moving somewhere or figuratively, but there also is the need, you know, for this delay because you need to heal, you need to rest and recoup. We got the 4 of Swords under here as well. So the 2 repeating cards are Hermit is going within, and that is a card of non-movement. The Hermit is finding out, you know, doing that soul searching. We're not taking action at this time. We're asking ourselves where we're headed. And then the 4 of Swords is rest and recuperation, healing, all of that. And that's a repeating card because that's right here as well. Four of Swords, Hermit, Hermit. And that's why there's no movement. So it's okay that there's no movement in the near future. It's okay. Because that's what you're supposed to be doing, is healing, resting, looking at things from a different perspective, going within, all of that. And your advice is to grieve and to go within. Now, we had the Nine of Swords, and then under that we have the Eight of Swords. So there definitely is a feeling of, I can't do this, and excessive worry, depression, all of that. The healing and the time out and taking that time for yourself will definitely help. And look for signs and feathers, messages in your dreams. Expand your horizons. So not necessarily even, in this plane, but when you're dreaming and things like that, listen for answers and all of that. All right, I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to leave this reading here, and I definitely thank you for letting me bring you this message. Hopefully this has brought you some peace and comfort, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Thank you.